Before the iPhone, before Spotify took over our playlists, before we had endless music streaming from the cloud, there was the iPod. A sleek white rectangle that didn't just change how we listened to music, it changed everything, and it redefined Apple. It redefined cool. And it made tech emotional. Imagine this, 1,000 songs in your pocket at a time when most of us were still burning CDs or waiting 45 minutes to download one song from LimeWire with a side of viruses. But here's the thing. The iPod didn't go viral just because it played music. It tapped into something deeper. It sold identity. It gave us a vibe. It made music feel personal. So, what made the iPod viral? Let's rewind the tape. It's 2001. Apple wasn't the tech giant we know today. There were no Apple stores on every corner, no iPhones in every pocket. Apple was still the underdog, the artsy computer company known more for creative types and colorful iMacs than cutting-edge gadgets. And here's the kicker. MP3 players already existed. They weren't new. You could walk into a Radio Shack or Best Buy and pick one up. They were usually shaped like awkward little bricks, plastic, clunky, and confusing. The user experience? Let's just say it felt like navigating a spreadsheet while blindfolded. Interfaces were terrible. Buttons didn't make sense. Transferring music was a nightmare. You had to drag, drop, rename, reformat. It felt like doing homework just to hear your favorite song. So when Apple announced they were making a music player, a company best known for desktop computers, people were skeptical. Why would this be any different? Spoiler alert, it was. What Apple was doing wasn't just building a better MP3 player. They were building a system, a lifestyle. Step 1, iTunes. Apple didn't just give you a device, they gave you a full ecosystem to manage your music. Buy, organize, sync, done. You didn't have to be a tech expert anymore. It made the digital music revolution feel simple. No more dealing with sketchy file names like track01.mp3 from Napster. No more trying to remember where you saved that Eminem song. With iTunes, your whole library felt clean, sorted, and accessible. Step 2, those white earbuds. This was genius. Most headphones back then were black, bulky, and anonymous. Apple flipped the script. White earbuds became a fashion statement. They were a signal. Spot them on the subway? You knew that person had an iPod. You knew they were cool. It was free advertising, and everyone wanted in. Step 3, design. This is where Apple flexed its superpower. The iPod didn't feel like a tech product. It felt like something designed by artists, not engineers. Minimal, smooth, intuitive, it fit perfectly in your hand. And that scroll wheel, completely addictive. You couldn't stop spinning it. Even the packaging felt special, like opening a gift instead of unboxing a gadget. But, and here's the twist, the first iPod was Mac only. That meant only a tiny slice of computer users could even use it. At launch, Apple's market share in computers, just 2.5%. It wasn't mainstream, not even close. The iPod was brilliant, but not viral yet. Fast forward to 2004, Apple drops the Silhouettes campaign. You remember it? Vibrant neon backgrounds, black silhouettes dancing, white earbuds glowing like stars. No specs, no boring feature list, just energy, movement, and emotion. It wasn't about storage space, it wasn't about battery life, it was about freedom. The ads didn't sell you a product, they sold you a feeling. Music wasn't just portable now, but it was personal. You didn't just carry it, you wore it. It became part of your identity. And just like that, the iPod exploded into pop culture. You saw it in music videos. Paris Hilton had one. Kanye showed his off. Even Oprah was giving them away to her studio audience. It was no longer about tech. It was a symbol. And the numbers reflected it. Between 2003 and 2005, iPod sales jumped over 600%. Faster than the original iPhone. Faster than TikTok's early growth. Faster than pretty much anything in the consumer tech world at that time. That was the moment. The iPod didn't just succeed, it became iconic. By the mid-2000s, The iPod was everywhere. From high schools in California, to cafes in Paris, to subways in Tokyo. If you had those white earbuds, you were part of something. Didn't matter what language you spoke, it didn't matter what music you listened to. The iPod transcended geography. It connected people, it became a cultural passport. Parents didn't get it. Teachers banned it. Kids worshipped it. Everyone wanted one. Even knockoffs started flooding the market. But none had the same pull. Because none had the same story. Apple kept feeding the fire with new versions. The iPod mini, smaller, colorful, insanely popular. The Nano, sleek, impossibly thin. The Shuffle, no screen, just vibes. The Touch, basically a prototype for the iPhone. Each one added to the myth, and every holiday season it was the ultimate gift. Now here's the real impact. The iPod didn't just change the music industry, it changed Apple's entire future. It showed them how to dominate consumer tech, how to blend utility with desire, how to make technology human. The iPod taught Apple how to create products people didn't just use, but loved. Would the iPhone exist without the iPod? Maybe. But would it be what it is today? Highly unlikely. The scroll wheel eventually disappeared, but it laid the foundation for multi-touch screens. The white earbuds morphed into AirPods, and iTunes evolved into Apple Music. In 2022, Apple quietly discontinued the last iPod. And just like that, an era ended. But its legacy? You still carry it with you in your iPhone, your AirPods, even the way you browse your music library. The iPod's DNA is everywhere. So back to the big question, what made the iPod viral? It wasn't just good hardware, or slick marketing, or even perfect timing. It was all of that. Plus something deeper, emotion. The iPod didn't scream, "I'm a gadget." It whispered, "This is who you are." It gave you ownership, a sense of style, and most of all, it made music feel intimate again. You didn't just listen to songs, you lived with them. On your commute, during a breakup, at a party, in your room at 2 a.m. It wasn't about what you were listening to, it was about how it made you feel. And that's what made the iPod go viral. It didn't sell songs, it sold identity. And that's the story of the iPod. A device that changed music, tech, and culture all at once. Next time on What Made It Viral, we're going from sleek and stylish to small and spinny. How did a plastic toy meant to reduce stress become the most banned item in schools worldwide? Yeah, we're talking fidget spinners. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Because we're just getting started. There's so much more virality to unpack.